Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're having a great day today. And today we have new Sun and Earth gates. So this one's gonna be a little bit longer because I'm gonna travel through the Sun and Earth, and then I'll talk about where the moon is today too. And the Sun and Earth are in really exciting energies today for me because we are in the cross of the sleeping Phoenix. So maybe you see a lot of people busy being busy, a lot of people getting down in their individuality, their uniqueness, their differences. Maybe you see people empowering each other to go out there and do the things that they need to do. And all of these things are wonderful. The Sun is in 59. So this is like a sexual gate. This is a intimacy gate. This is an aura breaking gate. And I actually have this gate myself. So does Bear, who is fully a sleeping Phoenix. And so this is all about the sacral power to break down barriers and achieve union. And these barriers can be anything. You know, this gate in and of itself is basically a genetic strategy, and it is going to drive people around to create these bonds and have these children, and our genes are in charge of that. You know, so often after you have a child with someone, you're like, why? You know, what's up with this? And it's because our genes are in charge of bringing us together so that we can reproduce and create children. And being in the first line today, the first line role theme of how we come together is in weakness and strength. And so our genes literally will bring strong to weak so that they can reproduce and ensure the continuity of the whole. And so that is really cool. And knowing that the sexuality of it, the reproduction in terms of children, you know, that being such a genetic thing, that can be something that you start to separate from the person. You know, you can look at it more as a role. And so people who naturally have this gate, they may come across as sexual or come across as someone that you could be intimate with, or someone that could give something to you or do something for you. And so often of the time I see this happen energetically. And this is why they call it the aura breaker gate. Because a lot of times it looks to me like this thing can plug into people and it can start getting their energy moving. Anything that has been stagnant or not flowing or not allowed or repressed, you know, this type of energy can really start bringing these things out so that we can become consciously aware of them and process them and get them out of our bodies so that they stop distorting the way that things look out there and the way people look and the way our self look and all of these different things. This intimacy can also be in terms of career or projects. And so you might find yourself coming together and creating something with someone, whether that's like a blog or a video, or maybe you guys come together and just get coffee and you come up with a new idea. Coming together in union, all of this are themes that we're going to be seeing. And what's so awesome about this gate specifically, you know, we can kind of transcend the genetic agenda. We can start to watch that instead of being that. And as you do that, you can come into union with life, union with self. And to me, this is the only way that you get to unlock full intimacy with another. Because whatever you cannot allow inside of yourself, you also cannot allow in another. So for example, you know, a parent who cannot allow themselves to fail or feel sadness, they also will not allow their children to fail or feel sadness. And that will be carried on, you know, throughout the life. And so if we can begin to come to self and accept and allow everything that happens in here, you know, that's outside of our control, we can let these feelings be things that move through us and not what we are, right? And so we can begin to just watch these things. We can let them come in and come out. We don't have to grab on. We don't have to know what they mean or let them move us or let them do anything. We can have a union to self, allow it all, and allow it all in another. And to me, that is so beautiful. And that gives you the potential of unlocking intimacy. You know, that gives you the potential of choosing yourself, your life, the life that's right in front of you. And then you can love and be loved with anyone, because there's nothing that you cannot allow in another. And speaking on these things, I feel like we're at such funny places with wounds in general. You know, people who molest children were generally also molested, and that wasn't their fault. We have to stop seeing these things that people do out of pain as something, you know, as them, as something to blame and shame, as something to punish, or throw them in an institution where they're going to be beaten to death. You know, like, they are also victims. And when we look at life this way, hurt people, right? We can understand that so much of the hurting, it's not the human being, it's what they've been taught, it's what's happened to them, it's what hasn't been allowed. And if those people could start getting some type of support, or to even be seen differently in general, to be seen as a victim first, maybe things would change. You know, maybe we would start treating ourselves and each other differently, and we wouldn't have to see ourselves as so evil. Because truly, like, this darkness, this evil, it's ignorance. It's out of lack of understanding for yourself and each other. And it's what allows us to continue to carry the pain instead of putting it down. And so aura breaking all day today, right now. Gate 55, this is what the earth is in. This is going to ground us. And this is the gate of the spirit. I also have this gate. It's the only gate that I have in my open emotions. So this one holds a special place in my heart. And it has the potential of having the highest highs and the lowest lows. So as this emotional wave is coming into your body, it has the highest potentials, the lowest lows. And I love this. I love this wave. I love the bottom. I think I love the bottom more than the top. And that's something to speak on in itself. These low feelings are so full of magic and creativity. You know, like, whether you're seeing your cup as half empty or half full, you have a cup at all. You know, and it's like, there's nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with your life, and there's nothing wrong with anybody in it. We're all doing our best. And if you could just take your eyes off the people and just place it right in front of you, you would see that everything that happens right in front of you happens for you to see. It was built for you, and you were built for it. And everything that comes to you in this life is for you to respond to. And when you can live in that place, you know, you can dance, you can surf on top of the highs and the lows instead of drowning in them, instead of blaming them on another and throwing them and doing something about them and thinking that you can change them. What if you just accepted the bottom of the void? What if you could communicate in new ways there, or gain new insights there? You know, there's nothing to be afraid of with these feelings. And something that this big giant wave creates is a fear of emptiness. Emptiness. So many people run from emptiness, and emptiness is one of my very favorite ways to feel. Because if I'm empty, I am fully receiving and seeing and being where I am, you know, and I don't have to worry about, like, my internal state or what I could, should, would do. I can just be. And so if you are afraid of emptiness, challenge yourself. Like, when I feel empty, I'm going to feel that, and I'm just going to accept that feeling, and I'm not going to let it control me or run me around or make me think I should do this, that, and the other, right? Because I can live there. Feelings can't kill me. Right? Feelings can't make me do anything. And so as you become the one behind that wave, you can really have fun in it, and you can see that your spirit will increase. Like, you will become infectious. You will become an agent of this earth that is just in love. And that's a big part of this gate. The love of being in love. Being in the flow. Seeing that it's for you. And not having to make any of it bad, you know, including yourself. And so this is so much about liberation from obstacles that stand in the way of individual spirit. Liberating yourself from the things that are in the way of you. And knowing that abundance is a product of spirit. That includes material. So material abundance is always a question of mindset. And what a lot of us maybe twist that into is that if I just smell and envision and picture myself in big house, fancy yacht, this, that, and the other, then I'm gonna get that, right? But what I think it means is that if I'm imagining big fancy yacht, I'm missing what's right in front of me, right? If I'm imagining house that I could be living in, I'm not appreciating the one that I do live in, and the people that are in it with me, and the food that's right there that I could make with my kids, and the paper and the pencils and all the simple, cheap, whatever things to do. You know, it's like all these things are here, and it is abundant. Anything that's right in front of you. I know for a fact that there were times as a mom where we had lots of fancy toys, and my boys would rather bang on pots and pans. You know, it's like these kids, they don't see this money, cost, expense, what I did to get it, how it, no, like, they're ready to just be abundant with what's right in front of them. And if we could get adults to live in that place too, the world would truly be a different place and everybody would feel so much better. They would be able to love themselves and each other, and things would change as a result of not living out of hate and pain. And so something else with this gate, it's very moody, and it needs to respect its mood. So if you're not in the mood to eat this week, don't do it. If you're not in the mood to make love, if you're not in the mood to go to that social event, whatever you've got going on, honor your moods and be where you are. Because even if it's dinner time, if your body's telling you it's not hungry, you don't need to eat. And if you're hungry in the middle of the day, maybe that means you could grab a snack. Maybe you feel like you really need to take a nap and you're in the mood to do it, but you could work on that instead. Take the nap. The feelings inside you are as natural as the things that are occurring in front of your face, and we can deny them, or we can be honest and be like, yeah, I'm in the mood to take a nap. And I could go answer messages, but it probably wouldn't go the best anyways, because I'm carrying a mood into it that's not for it. And so during this week, you can honor your mood. You can also notice that you might be more sensitive to tones. The tone of voice. The deeper that we get into our body, the deeper that we get into strategy and authority, the more information is in everything. And you can pick up a vision from the tone of somebody's voice. You can be interacting on energetic levels that you have absolutely no idea about on a conscious level, when you are just living from the mind. And so if you're going to challenge yourself in a mystical way this week, sink into the tones of voices. See if you pick up something underneath the words. What's going on there? How does that tone of voice make you feel? What does it make you want to do? Does it give you any visceral sensations or remind you of anything that's happened to you in your past? And so you can sink into that and see how these tones feel. You can sink into your own tone for the own sound of your voice. And then let's see. This also has an emotional awareness potential, and it is the potential of being provoked or not. So why is provoking associated with the gate of the spirit? Provocation comes, somebody pokes you to see where your spirit's at. So when Bear pokes me, he's like, where's her spirit at? And if I react and I'm like, you freaking monster, why are you poking me? He can see where my spirit's at. And if I'm like, what's up? He can see where my spirit's at. And so notice the provocations coming towards you. I've already caught one today, and it wasn't the words that were said that provoked me. It was the tone underneath the words. And so I saw an excellent example of this. And as this happens, watch what bubbles out of you. Watch what you were provoked around. Watch how it impacts the other person, because it is an interaction for both people. This provocation, if someone is very provoked by everything that you do, then perhaps they're just not the right person for you. Maybe with these low and high waves, you can start to think that something's wrong with you. It's not. If you're provoking someone all the time, find someone who's not provoked, and don't make yourself into the problem. Something else that can be really big about the he, she, me, him, her, whatevers, is that this gate is impacted by the forces in its life. So spirit is impacted by the forces in life. If you are with inferior forces, maybe you're getting lost in the moods of the gate. Maybe you're not doing the things that you need to do or seeing the productivity that you want to see. And it's because you are lost in those moods and you're unable to move forward or get anything done. On the other end, superior people are going to fill your cup. They're going to increase your spirit. And so these are people who maybe have more wisdom, more experience, more knowledge, someone that can help you do something with a skill that you don't know how to do. And someone who just has some type of value for you. This is absolutely subjective when we look at inferior and superior forces. But what you can know is that these superior forces can be so good. And it's okay to be with people who know more or less or are different in any type of way. It's okay to feel like someone has more experience than you. And you can see them as a gift, allow them in and work with them and see how you change them. Because I promise, at the end of the day, whether the people are looking inferior or superior, you guys are giving equal exchanges and you're together for a purpose. And that in itself can be so beautiful. And so I'll talk a little bit about this moon that we're in, but since this is such a long one, I'm not going to do much. We are in breakthrough. So this is a mental gate. This is all about individual breakthrough in the now. So you have like an insight and you're like, holy crap. And what can be hard about this gate is that we can have these individual spontaneous knowings and then be unable to explain them. And that has happened for me personally. I have this gate. When I got my knowing of allowing, I literally couldn't communicate it to another person. Bear looked at me like, how can I help you? And I was just staring at him. I was like, I don't know what happened to me. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what to say. Like, I have no words. I felt like I had to relearn how to talk. Like, I felt like I had to relearn how to make eye contact with people. And so when I came into that breakthrough, I had to have patience. I had to walk the path in front of me so that life could teach me how to talk it. Right? So that life could tell me, this is how you're going to say it to people. It gave me the right experiences to learn how to explain the thing. And so the foundation of these breakthroughs is patience. Allow it all the time that it needs to make sense, because life is working with you to help you make sense of that thing in time. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week. We don't know when it's going to be, but we can know that we are being helped and guided through the entire thing. This gate also has a fear of rejection, and so it takes strength to stand behind these breakthroughs, especially before you can explain them. It's just a knowing, and you're like, I know that I know that I know that I know, and this is what's real for me and important for me, and maybe other people just have to reject you because you can't explain it yet. And that can be okay. You know, don't take it personal. Know that with time, you're gonna be able to get it out, and they're gonna be able to see what you're saying. And you can stand strong in your knowing, and you can keep it to yourself. You know, you can keep it to yourself until it's ready to be shared. And so once you get this explanation, once you're able to share it with other people, once you're able to see it in your own life, it's like you kind of establish this new order that goes along with it. You're watching the new order work. You're seeing, was my knowing a delusion or was it really true? As you're watching it work through the order. And as this order changes, you have the ability to communicate it to others, and if they also feel in resonance with it, they can adopt it and they can change their order. And so all day today, well, up until this afternoon, maybe we're having breakthroughs around intimacy, around spirit. Maybe we're coming together to share intimacy and spirit. And as these things happen, you can love the people that come and know that they're the exact right people for you at the place that you are. And so I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about these moons, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.